All right, guys, don't mind the mess in the back. I know y'all gonna comment about it, but it's all good. Today, I'm gonna be changing the low pressure fuel pump. Well, actually, I'm not changing the low pressure fuel pump. I'm sorry. I'm changing the fuel pressure regulator because I've already changed the low pressure fuel pump. But I'm gonna be showing you guys in this video how to remove both of them because you have to remove one. You have to remove the low pressure fuel pump to get out the regulator. So same thing anyway, might as well do 2 in 1. So just check this video out. Let's go. You're gonna need a pair of gloves. You wanna make sure your tank is as empty as it possibly can be. You're gonna want zip ties, right? Zip ties are gonna go on the end of your new part so that you can route it through, right? Your flathead screwdriver, something like a bigger flathead screwdriver like I have here. This is a pretty big one. As you can see, it's going all the way across my shoulders. And then you want a hammer. You know, you want a bigger hammer that you can hit the back of that with to get the rings off, and you'll see that in a minute. So you're gonna need a 10mm socket to get the bolts off the top of the cover, the cover for it. Besides that, as long as you have your new part, good to go. So watch this video, watch this tutorial, and stick with me through the journey. But literally, if you reach up underneath your seats, you pull them up this way. You're just pulling them out of this and this. And it's the same thing on this side, this one and this one. And then underneath, you will see your fuel pressure regulator behind the driver's side and with filter. And back here, you're gonna see your low pressure fuel pump. You're not gonna have this line. I have port injection, and I also have a stage 3 low pressure fuel pump. And this is the thing that tells my other, I have 2 low pressure fuel pumps, and this is the thing that tells it, hey, turn on after I'm at like 10 PSI or whatever I have it set to. I really don't remember off the top of my head. So first things first, we're gonna move the 4 and the other 4 10mm bolts. So I'm moving from that side, but now I'm just gonna show you guys just in case. Once you do that, you can remove the top. And so for the low pressure fuel pump, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna take these 2 wiring harnesses out, boom, and move this over a little bit. And then you're gonna take these 2 hoses off right here. Only thing you're doing for these hoses is you just press down, like on the top here. There's a button for the small one. There's a button. You press on it. I usually push down and then I'll pull up. And here it is. See that button right there? That's what you're gonna be pressing on. Over here, this one's a little harder. It always is for whatever reason. But there's 2 buttons on the side here. So, sorry, I really don't have any light in here, but all right, so I got light. So you can see on the side here, there's a button in there. And there's also a button, you can see it here. You press those 2, I always push down and then I pull up, but it's super hard to do with one hand, so I'm gonna have to use 2 hands. And I usually just get a hand on this side and a hand on this side, and that's how I do it. So give me 1 second. You guys try, and I will be. So that took me like 2 seconds. I got it off. It might take you a little longer if you haven't done it before, but that's fine. And I usually just take them and I put them on the side over here so that they're out of the way, because the next thing you have to do. All right, so if you don't have the ring tool that I was talking about over here, right? I take a flathead screwdriver, right? So I take a flathead screwdriver. I lodge it into one of these ring like things right here, these little stud things. And then I hit the back of this with a hammer. You don't want to do it up. You want to do it more like parallel to the surface. You know what I'm saying? As much as you can, because that'll help it spin. I won't really be able to show you guys this because I can't hit it and hold the camera at the same time. And even if I could, like, the camera's probably gonna fall because I don't have like an actual like thing. So 1 second. All right, so now I have pretty much, I just took this, like I said. You see these right here. You put something in there. I use a long flathead, and I put it in there. And I had a rubber mallet, and I just hit the back of it. So here, hit the back of this right here with a rubber mallet, and you'll see it start to spin. For a lot of you guys, if it's your first time taking it out, you will have to hit it really, really, really hard, and it will take a lot of attempts. You will get a workout, and you will be sweating. So don't think that you're gonna break it. Some of these tabs will break off, but it doesn't matter because you can still put the You can still put the flathead or whatever you're using in there, and just keep banging on it until it turns. And you'll see it turn slightly, and you'll be like, oh, I think I got it. And just keep hitting it, and just make sure that you're kind of following the shape of it, and you're at a parallel surface. So, you know, if I'm hitting this part over here, I want to, you know, have it as low as I can. You pretty much hit it, and it just slides around. And now it's out. On this side, for the fuel pressure regulator, you just got to pretty much press these tabs. You push in, press this down, and then you pull it out. And also obviously take out the wiring harness first. No fuel should be in these lines, guys. No fuel should be in these lines. When you take it out, a little bit, kind of like, you'll get like a little light little spray. It's not even like a spray. It's like a tiny bit of mist, just because of the air pressure that's built up back here. But it's okay. So we're gonna do the same thing on this side. I'm gonna take this off here, and then I'm gonna take this rings off. Yes, guys, I'm sorry. In the next video, I will get some type of mount, but in these cars, there's not a lot of places to like mount a camera. You know what I'm saying? So maybe next time I'll find something, put it on the back window, and I don't know. But I feel like I can get better close-ups like this. So give me one second. All right, so it was a little pressure built up. As you can see, it was a little spray of fuel. What I do is I keep a little rag around, wipe it down. It's okay. So now I'm gonna get this ring off because I got this out. So this had a little spray to it. Be wary of that. But this is what we're gonna do, right? So for the people that are here for the low pressure fuel pump, your job is almost done. When you lift up on this thing here, you'll take out this hose first, because it's a very small hose, right? Very tiny, and it doesn't stretch very far. There's clips on here. We call them the PITA clips, the PITA clips, pain in the, you know that word, right? They're gonna break. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about getting online, ordering a new one, unless you're a perfectionist and you want to do that. But mine broke immediately. But the only thing you're really doing is you're gonna take a little flathead right here, and you're gonna pry out that one and that one, and it's supposed to just push back completely. But every time people do it, they break off one side of it, and it's fine. It's fine. Nothing's gonna happen. The hose still stays on there perfectly, as you can see. But yeah, whatever. So I take out the low pressure fuel pump by pushing down on this thing, right? I'm gonna push down. And now that we have that one off, you can kind of pull up on your top hat a little bit. Be careful bringing it up. I have a complete system. It sucks because the fuel, what do you call this thing? So here are my pumps. I have a buckless setup again. I would not suggest a buckless setup. I don't remember the name that I call it, but this thing right here, the float is kind of in the way sometimes. It's easier to get it out than it is to put it in for whatever reason. But now your whole low pressure fuel pump system is out. This is where your low pressure fuel system is attached to the fuel pressure regulator right here. It comes right off of it. And mine, it goes from the top of your low pressure fuel pump or pumps, if you have two like I do, and it goes to this, goes underneath all of this. There's three hoses. Two of them hang. Well, there's four total. This one goes into the top hat right here. This one right here goes into the top hat. This one, it goes into the fuel pressure regulator. And then there's two hoses in here like this that they just kind of chill. They're wide open like this, and they just hang out. That's all they do, and it's fine. Just let them hang. For now, we're gonna do this. The hardest part for this is taking these right here out, and this one out, and the one that hangs. So you just press this button. All right, so I got this off, and now pretty much you're gonna work this up. This has a float on it as well, just like this thing here. It has a float on it as well. So you just gotta pretty much pull it up and out, and you just gotta wiggle it, man. It's not tricky at all. It's just, you know, tedious. So I'll pull up on it, all right? Now it's just me pulling these three cables from the other side, which is the easiest part because they just come right out, just like so, right? And then these are the cables, the hoses that I was telling you about. I let it drain a little bit inside. Make sure it's draining inside, because there is fuel in these lines, guys. So we're gonna let that drain. As you can see, most of it is out. I'm trying to get to the end of it. Yep, right here. And you see these three. So let's continue letting it drain. It doesn't drain in my car and I light a cigarette and blow up. All right, guys, so I do not get paid for this, but if I were you, I would order from FCP Euro. For a new one, once yours goes bad, if you've already ordered from FCP Euro, right? And then you fill out your return. When the new part comes in, you put the old part in the box and they give you all the directions. They give you a label to put on the box to ship it back. You put your new one in the car, you get your money back. So lifetime warranty, guys. If this thing breaks in 20 years, which you would expect it to, you still get your money back and you get a new part. You just have to spend the money to buy the new part and then they refund you. So it's absolutely worth it. Make sure you guys do that. All right, let's continue on with the video. We're gonna get this thing in. This is the hardest part because you gotta take these hoses, you gotta route them from here all the way through here. And I'm gonna show you guys the little space that it needs to go through because it gets stuck. So what I would suggest is on the end, you put zip ties, like right here on the end. That way it keeps it together. Otherwise, this one makes it through, and then these two are like just off on an adventure somewhere. So I'm gonna show you guys that real quick. I'm gonna throw some zip ties on the end of this thing. I'm gonna route it through the best I can, and then once I route it through, I'm gonna show you guys in here where it should be coming through, because you kind of gotta dig your hand in that side a little bit and pull it out. So I'm gonna do that. All right, guys. So I've put some of the hose in there, and now you can see underneath. Let me make sure I don't drop my phone in fuel. You see where it's coming through at over here? I'm gonna touch it a little bit so you guys can see it moving. You see it moving a little bit, guys? And that's what I have to grab. It's way back there, but. So as you guys can see, you gotta reach your hand in there, right? You gotta reach your hand in there like this, underneath. And you got to pull that hose out. It's the two clear hoses that you just seen in there moving up and down. You just got to pull them over. That's all you got to do. Once they're over, they'll be visible when you look down into the passenger side of the tank. And here we go, guys. We have it here. You can see I'm pulling on it. And you can see it moving on this side. Ghost hands, right? But now all I have to do, since it's in, is I can just, well, I'm probably just going to attach it here first, just to make sure it doesn't like slide out. So now that this is in here, right, the only thing that you really have left to hook up over there is that one. I'm also, I like to take these out. Take that zip tie that you put on there, cut that off, let these hang, right? We're just gonna let those hang. Then we're gonna route this thing back in there. Like I told you guys earlier, you just kind of gotta, you know, mess with it, put this side in, that side. It's not hard, it's not hard, it's pretty easy. All right, guys, so pretty much all we did was we just did a reverse ornament. This the top one right here, you see that? You barely see it in there right there with the pita clip that I was telling you guys about earlier. Make sure you're holding that up at the top when you're putting everything else in. And then you put that down, and right when the top hat is like, you know, maybe about an inch above where it is now, you use two hands. I held on this side and on this side, and then I just slipped that in there. And then it's good to go, man. You just close it up. Make sure you replace these O-rings that the kit comes with, because that could cause a leak as well. And then you'll have like an evap leak in your system. So that's pretty much it, guys. The easiest part now is I'm gonna reattach these two hoses. Obviously, I'm gonna reattach my, I believe it's a hop switch, and then I'm going to put the rings back on, same order that you did before. Use that flathead, get it in there, and same thing here. Another little side note for you guys when you're putting these top hats on is that they have a specific place that they go, and that's in between these two things right here, and they have to be kind of placed in between. Otherwise, again, you'll have a leak and it'll be up. So it's a little, takes a little bit of elbow grease, but I'm gonna get it in there. Again, it's between those. So not, if you see these dash lines, this portion of the top hat is not gonna go in. It has to be in the open slot between the two teeth. All right, so just another one. On this side, I got everything pretty much done. On the low pressure fuel pump side, I got the harnesses plugged in, I got the two hoses plugged in, and I got my hop switch plugged back in. And then honestly, on this side, it's pretty much done. I just throw the top on like so, put the 10mm bolts in it. Obviously, I have my power tool that I use. And low pressure fuel pump is absolutely complete. Now we're just gonna push this top hat down, put this ring on, put this hose on, put this top on, done. All right. All right, guys, that's it, man. I put the 10mm bolts on both top hats. Good to go. Again, you want to replace the O-rings, are the biggest thing, and you want to make sure you guys have your top hat within those 2 teeth that I showed you on both sides, because if you don't, you will have a leak in your low pressure fuel system. So make sure you do that. Make sure you put all the hoses back on that I showed you guys. Make sure you put all the clips back on that I showed you guys. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for coming and clicking on the link. And please share, subscribe, like. I'm trying to make my videos as short as possible now so you guys can just get straight to the content. Thank you guys again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hit that subscribe button. I will be coming out with more. I did my wheel hubs. I have a video on that. I did the 15-inch wheel conversion. If you guys want to see a video on that, just let me know, and I can help you guys out with that. Again, I got the single turbo 335i. I'm gonna show you guys one more time. 335i single turbo, fun car, but it does have small issues. So thanks for watching.